Hello everyone and welcome back to Mars for another nature figure review. Today we're going to be reviewing my main in Street Fighter 6. Of course, I'm talking about Luke. That's the character I've been using. Really enjoyed the character a lot while playing the game. Haven't played a lot since last year, but still my go-to always. Now, when it comes to the presentation of the box itself, I think Storm Collectibles did a really good job of capturing the artistic style from the game and putting it here on the box. As you can see, you have a lot of the paint splatter right here, looking very good. Here on the back as well. Just really capturing the essence of Street Fighter 6 in the presentation alone before you even take the figure out, I think is a huge win for Storm Collectibles there. Did a great job. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this figure out of the box and see what all it comes with. One thing I forgot to mention about the box is this area right here I am not a fan of, how they kind of just cut off the hair. Yeah, he's got a lot of hair and they probably could have made it work if they shrunk it down a little bit more. My issue is that it's cut off here and it kind of takes away from the figure because the window is not as big and it almost overshadows the figure, if that makes sense. But that's just like my one critique about the packaging. That aside, as you can see here in the backdrop, you do get the Metro City arena map, which is pretty damn cool. Moving in over to the figure here, you're going to be getting 3 head sculpts, which is great, and then 7 pairs of hands. Now the way these hands are all kind of scattered out could be a little confusing, but you are getting 7 pairs of hands. And then you're also going to be getting 3 effect pieces as well, which is always something to expect with Storm Collectibles. Very rarely do they have a release when they don't include any effect pieces. So let's go ahead and get this figure out of the plastic and do our size comparisons. Moving into size comparisons, you know, we had to bring out Terry from KOF, Fatal Fury, who is now in Street Fighter 6. By the way, for those of you who are not aware or did not know, he is in Street Fighter 6. I personally have not played as him yet, but I plan to at some time. And then, of course, we have the Street Fighter 4 Evil Ryu here on the left. Again, these figures, they're in their own league. Now let's go ahead and see some more size comparisons here. Next up, we have the Marvel Legends exclusive Deadpool and then the Naruto Top 99 Naruto from SH Figuarts. As you can see, Storm Collectibles towers over these figures, but that will not always be the case because next year we have Storm Arena coming. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see those reviews here in a nature setting. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and bring this figure in and have a closer look. Alright, now as I mentioned before, I just got this figure today, so I haven't gotten any first impression or hands-on impression, so we're going to do that now. The one thing I do want to say is that at first I thought maybe Storm Collectibles dropped the ball because of the vest. It's not a soft good, it's more of a plastic, or it is plastic I should say, or silicone, whichever. And then we know Robotech, they are releasing a Luke for Street Fighter 6, and his is going to be a soft good. That's what I initially thought, but actually I like this choice better because we don't have to worry about the fabric getting in the way and it kind of just falls in with the figure itself. So I actually like that design choice. Now, as far as the overall presentation for the figure, yeah, I mean, again, just in case it wasn't clear enough, when it comes to Storm Collectibles and their fighting game figures, it's going to be beat for beat. It's hardly ever that they mess up. Now, if you haven't seen my Kung Lao Mortal Kombat review from Storm Collectibles, go and check that out. My head sculpt literally had bald spots in it. So there's that. Now, another thing is that another strange choice is the chain here. Instead of it being an actual chain, it's like a plastic, which is funny because with Geese, for the KOF line, they included a metal gold chain, which, you know, no argument there. It is what it is, but yeah, the presentation for this figure looks really good. So let's go ahead and jump into articulation. You can look up this much, which is a great distance. You can look down as much as well. Lean side to side. And again, I just love how the silicone moves with the head. This is incredible. The arms look great. I mean, look at the detailing on the arms. T-pose, double jointed elbows. But what I want to look at really is like the scarring and just how round and buff they are. That's Luke. He's got some massive forearms. You know, they're bigger than Baki. Looks really good. And even the articulation feels good as well. You know, you can see here, just kind of pose up. You know, really good stuff here. Now, when it gets to the torso here, on the upper torso, when you go to tuck, I mean, there is going to be a little hindering, but it looks fine to me. And then if you're going to go back, see, it looks good. There's some twist movement as well. You can twist here at the waist. I'm pretty sure you can rock around as well. So, yeah, articulation's good. Now with the legs, you're unable to hit that full 90, which is not a deal breaker. The knees look good. The leg swivel is there, but it's not, I wouldn't force it. And then for the feet, it does extend out. You do have your toe pivot there as well. And then there's a little bit of rocking movement also. Oh, that's really good actually, damn. So you see that. Yeah, and that's gonna cover it for like the presentation. I think they did a great job on capturing the essence of the character. The paint application, that's another thing when it comes to Storm Collectibles is, you know, not always does the application go on smoothly. Had a little bit of a struggle there. So I guess kind of like in this instant here, you may be able to see that. I'm not sure. It's just like a little black scruff here. Nothing too crazy, but you know, it's definitely improved from that Kung Lao. If you haven't seen that review, go check it out. You might find it a little amusing. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpts and pairs of hands, accessories, and then we'll wrap up with the conclusion. For our first head sculpt, you've been seeing this for the majority of the review. Personally, I think it looks great. They did a flawless job with this head sculpt, so let's go ahead and move on to the other two. Here's our second head sculpt with him grinning sinisterly like he's about to have fun. And I do believe these head sculpts are going to be made from when you first enter a battle and you're at like the preloading screen and you can do those different taunts and stuff with your head sculpts or with the head sculpts or whatever, like the emotes. I'm pretty sure these are those head sculpts. And then here is our mouth open. I'm not sure how to interpret this expression. I don't know if it's like he's about to hit or what have you, but it looks great and I'm a fan of it. And with that being said, let's now move into the pairs of hands. 7 pairs of hands is a great amount of hands to get with any figure, so expect to have a lot of expression you'll be able to deliver for the figure. Now, you are going to be starting off here with the closed fist. That's going to come on by default. The rest are going to be pretty much open hands and grapplings because he's a grappler boxer. It's MMA, right? So a lot of open hands here. As you can see now, these particular pointer fingers, I'm not sure. I think these are just like for styling. These one, however, these pairs of hands are actually for a move that he can shoot out, whatever it is that he shoots out, whether it's flame or whatever that actually is. I'm not entirely sure. Of explosion, whatever the case may be, that is these pairs of hands here. These ones I do recognize specifically and uniquely for the character. So yeah, 7 pairs of hands. Storm Collectibles did great. Now let's move into the effect pieces. For the first accessories, we're going to be looking at the Rising Uppercut, which looks really good here. It's translucent, as you can see the sun is going through. Pretty cool effect piece to have. Now next up, we have this here. I would say this is going to be like your regular attack. And I apologize, I don't know the name of this particular effect. I know this one is Rising Uppercut for sure. I've heard him say it so many times. But this one, I'm not sure. But if you want, you also have this piece here. And this serves as like the enhanced attack. So when you're burning meter and things like that, you've got that enhanced attack to where you can see the buildup of the explosion. So that's pretty damn cool. Now that is going to cover it for the effect pieces. We pretty much have gone over everything with this figure. Now let's get into the conclusion. To conclude this review, I don't expect a lot of people to get this figure. I don't think Luke as a character is up everyone's alley. My personal attachment to the character is because I main him in the game. And this is the first Street Fighter 6 line to come out from Storm Collectibles, the first figure to come out. And I'm a huge fan of Storm Collectibles. So those are my personal reasons for picking up this figure. But when it comes to the vast majority of you all probably watching this video, you may or may not want this figure. You know, don't forget, we do have the Robotech 6-inch Luke figure coming out later that does have a soft good. Now that may be perfect for most of you out there, probably all of you out there, and you probably will take that route. But if you want something that is Storm Collectibles-esque, if you want something that has that Storm Collectible feeling, touch, aesthetic, then yeah, this is definitely the route to go. Probably both are going to be in the same price range, not sure entirely, but so far, personally, I'm digging it. I'm enjoying it. A great first impression, and I would recommend this to you if you are in the position to get it and if you want the character. Thank you all for watching this review, and we will catch you all in the next one. Peace.